Hello,
My name is Whitney.
I'm Wes.
Nice to meet you. All right, so what brings you here today?
Well, I've been told I have some anger management issues.
Okay, all right. So, any where like, at home, at work, or with
Yes.
family, just all around. Okay.
Uh huh.
All right. So, do you have an idea? Have you ever done therapy before? Do you know what you're in for?
Nope. No idea.
Okay. Well, it's basically we're just gonna have conversations. We're gonna sit down for about 50 minutes. For a few sessions, and we'll talk this out. It's great for you to set some goals for what you'd like to get out of treatment,
All right.
therapy. What would you like to get out of some of these sessions? What are you hoping to do?
I don't know. Get some practical advice on
Okay.
how to handle some things.
Okay.
Maybe not react as much when people piss me off.
So learning how to kind of control the anger.
Sure.
Maybe some coping skills. Is that what you mean by practical?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Do you feel that you struggle with communication? Would communication skills be something, learning how to just be assertive
I suppose that would be part of it. Yeah.
as opposed to aggressive?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Those are pretty good goals. So we want to learn how to communicate a little bit better, a little less aggressively. So instead of building up, just being able to say it when it first strikes a nerve.
Gotcha.
And you said just the coping skills of when you do get angry. Okay.
Sure.
And what was the other one? There was one more kind of sort of talk.
I don't remember now.
So much time has gone
So
by.
long ago.
Okay. You're right. So, okay, I think we've got some good goals to start with. So, just real quick, the limits of confidentiality are that if you were to harm yourself or state an intent of harming someone else, I'd have to break confidentiality to warn and protect.
Okay.
But
That's fine.
other
I don't
than
intend to
that-
do that, so I think we'll be fine.
Great. Okay. And I've got a disclosure for you to sign if there's someone you'd like to be informed of your progress in treatment. That's fine too. So we can cover all the paperwork here shortly.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you back. So, how's it been going with the coping skills that I kind of had you try?
I think they're helping quite a bit. I'm not perfect still. I'm still a person, but
It's a work in progress.
for the most part, it's been helping a lot, I would say.
Okay. Good. All right. So, what are we trying, and in what scenarios are you trying them?
Mostly, I guess I'm having better work success than at home. It's a little harder at home, I guess. My wife just gets under my skin a little easier than my boss does. So at work, I'm able to articulate better immediately when something frustrates me. Just right off the bat, just let them know, take a deep breath, say what I need to say, and then leave it. And that's working pretty well for me so far.
Good. So you're not doing the explosions, and you're not holding it all in and getting really resentful.
Yeah, so
As
instead
much.
of just waiting for someone to do something that's really going to frustrate me, I go ahead and just say, hey, I don't think that's going to work out. And then we plan around it rather than wait for everything to crumble and then get pissed off.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's really
So-
great. Okay. Sounds like that's working for you. Why do you think it might not be working for you at home as well?
It's not a professional atmosphere, maybe, and so it's easier for the gloves to come off at home.
I was
than
gonna
it is.
say maybe fighting dirty.
Yeah, than it is at work. So, yeah, my boss obviously has to make sure he doesn't do anything to instigate a fight from a professional standpoint, but my wife doesn't have that obligation.
Right. Okay. So you can predict what her behaviors will be, and then the trick is kind of adjusting your response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's tougher, but yeah, we're making progress.
Okay. Well, I remember we talked about, getting some assertiveness training and working on some coping skills, and it sounds like you're really moving in the right direction. So good job. excellent to see you
Getting there.
actually practicing, outside of our sessions, some of these things and making some improvements.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So this is not something that's unsolvable that you just have to live with. You can make some really great changes. So we can work on the assertiveness at home. I think that will be beneficial for you to carry over even what you've tried. You're planning ahead at work to avoid problems. Have you tried to take that home with you and try to plan ahead to avoid problems?
Yeah, sometimes you can do that, and sometimes problems just get big quickly. So it's a lot easier to spot scheduling problems at work and, speak up when you're getting the short end of the stick or whatever. At home, things just kind of develop quickly, and then it's an argument. So, and then I get angry. So.
And it's okay to set boundaries. We've talked in previous sessions about setting the boundaries. Say, you let your no's be no's and your yeses be yeses, and your obligation, however much you want to do it, is the measure that you'll do it. And it's okay to have boundaries at home, but it sometimes it just is a sit down conversation.
Sure.
Before you can get to that. So instead of waiting to let them happen, bring the issues to your peace conference. You need the Geneva Convention at home too. Just sit down in your living room and have the conversations that need to be had. In an environment that's relaxed. Instead of waiting for those arguments to come to you, you might have to go to them. Just I don't know what the word is, but
I know what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, what do you think of that as an option?
Yeah, I think. I think when you're as close to someone as your spouse or whatever, it's a little easier to get heated. And there's always going to be arguments. There's always going to be frustrations. But how far out of hand they get is up to me.
That's right. Okay. Good.
So.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, we have been working on the accountability, haven't we?
A little bit, yeah.
Just kind of the ownership. The feelings are yours, and it's our job to process our own feelings and keep them from
Absolutely
harming others. Okay, that's good. Well, let's keep working on the assertiveness at home. Okay. Well, this is our last session. Ready for that?
I am ready.
Oh, well, don't sound too happy about it. No, it's great. It's great if you're feeling. Well, how are you feeling about the whole idea?
I think I've made a lot of progress with some things. I think I've been able to implement the practical tools that I've needed to do, both at home and at work, especially at work, more so than anything. I really haven't had any issues or been able to keep things under control for the last several weeks. So
That's
I
great.
feel good about everything.
Feel a little bit more in control.
A little bit, yeah.
Everything? Okay. I know there are still some problem areas. The home front was a little rockier. There's still, the whole
Sure.
driving situation. You get frustrated on the road a lot. But, you've come a long way in just a few short weeks with the coping skills, learning how to adjust your own feelings and even your own thoughts have been, adjusted to make life a little easier for you to work through.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So how are things with your wife? Are you?
A lot better, I think. I think she can kind of tell that I'm not looking for a fight. So she's a little more relaxed about everything. That has just helped perpetuate peace
Yes.
at home.
That's great. That's great. Everybody's a lot happier when there's peace in the home.
Sure.
Okay. Are there any little hiccups that we need to address or anything that you feel?
Nothing major. I think just remembering to, take my time to be assertive, to, actually do what I'm supposed to do, and when that doesn't work, to slow everything down and get things into perspective, take deep breaths, count if I have to, whatever I need to do, to, you know, or just leave sometimes if I have to and come back to the situation later and work it out. Whatever I have to do to keep from exploding, I think as long as I can make that a goal, I'll be all right.
That's excellent. Yeah. I'm really proud of you. You've made so much great progress. So I feel pretty good about, letting you out into the big wide world again. Do you feel like you're ready to?
Yeah, I'm fine. I think I'm sure there's going to be times where I get angry again in the future, but as long as I can, continue to set goals and, put things into perspective, I think I'll be all right.
That's awesome. What are some goals that you think you might try to set for yourself moving forward?
The biggest thing is keeping things on the straight and narrow at home, I think, and making sure that I'm taking time to think about how I want tension to be resolved and to follow the steps that you've given me to be sure to be assertive about the things I need to be assertive about, and when things get out of control or chaotic and maybe she's having a bad day or whatever, to be slow to anger.
Yeah. Well, that's really great. I know it can be a default setting to go back to the rage that you were feeling before. And it's just a matter of retraining yourself, as we've been doing and you've been doing consistently over these last few weeks. Just retraining yourself to think a different way, and it does adjust the way that you feel. And yeah, I think those are some excellent goals. I was hoping maybe you could be just a bit more specific on how you would perpetuate peace at home. Can you think of any ways? I want to get you on some good solid ground before we move out.
Well, there's the easy way and then there's the normal way. I think the easy way is, bring flowers and chocolate home every day to the wife, and there's always peace.
It's expensive though, but
that is a little more expensive. So the normal way, I would say, is I found to say what I need to say when I need to say it, and to clearly articulate the issues I'm having without getting angry, and doing it in an environment like you told me to sit down, have a quiet house, non-chaotic environment, and sit down and discuss things rather than backhanded comments or passive aggressiveness or anger that just snowballs into a big fight.
Yeah. And remember, we also talked about kind of utilizing empathy. So in those situations, trying to think about how maybe she might be feeling, how she might feel about something you say, kind of helps to curtail the angry outbursts. So that could be good. Yeah, you'll have to pile all of those skills together in those problem areas and really work through them. But I think you're on the right track. You have the skills in your toolbox now, so you can use them. It's just the remembering to use them. How do you think you'll do remembering to use them in the moment that you need them the most?
I've been doing good these last few weeks, so I think I'll do well with it. Okay. I'm sure I'll have bad days and things will go out the window, but I'll just recoup and move on.
That's great, yeah. Don't ever get discouraged about, feeling like you failed or you didn't handle a situation well. As long as you can learn from the mistakes and say, okay, well, that didn't work out well, maybe try it different the next time, then there's meaning to those mistakes and you can move forward. So just keep that in mind, once we're done with sessions. But it's been awesome to have you as a client. You've done amazing work. Keep the good work going, and give us a call if you need us.